Alrighty, so we should be recording this. Let me put the link in here and send that to everybody. Let me get to the MeWe on the interwebs, and hopefully everybody can see it. Close that, and we'll go to MeWe, and I just want to go to the Pathfinder group and post it there, just to say, hey, of course you can never find anything when you need it. There we go. Bear with me 1 second. That, and then let's see where else I can do it. Home. Include that. I'm not expecting to get a ton of people in the stream. This is more of a test just to make sure it's all working. Because like I said, I had difficulties, and I want to make sure it's working properly. So now I'm gonna paste my own link in my stream. This is where I really need 2 monitors set up. Let's see if it works. See, and it's showing on my end that it's not working. This is obnoxious. Did I close the software or something? See, this is what's so frustrating. I just know why. For me, it doesn't make any sense. And if I go, oh, really need 2 monitors set up. All right. So obviously, it looks like I'm working. Let's see if we got the chat going. Yeah, chat looks like it's working. If I could type. This is more of a test just to make sure I've got it working properly is really all this is. The weird part about streaming live is you don't want to watch your own channel because there's a delay and it will drive you nuts. So I'm just going to pop out the chat. I believe I can pop it out. Yeah, pop out chats. And then I'll minimize this. And I should get it in just a second. Yeah. So now we have the chat live. YouTube chat. So I've got the Discords up. I think what I can do is probably go to my other tablet here, and that would probably be a better way to do it. So, Farrell says, James, my buddy, and Cristiano, Chris, I hope I said that right, sir, says I'm okay. So, I think I finally figured this out, James. They keep changing the YouTube live streaming, buddy. It appears now that your key changes every time you set up a new stream. So it's crazy. And it's just, I said it last night during the live stream. I fight with technology all day at work. I'm a senior desktop support analyst, which means I run around in our corporate headquarters and I fix people's shit. And while I enjoy my job and I love it, I hate coming home and working on technology. I did say it right. Sweet, thank you, Cristiano. It's a cool name, by the way. I'm assuming you're not English or American, maybe Spanish or I don't know, something else. but it's definitely, I'm totally stealing your name for an NPC in a game. So watch the live streams, you'll see it come up real quick. It'll probably be a French or Spanish person, just because I think that name is so cool with an accent. I dig names. I'm very proud of my Germanic heritage, and my first name is Norbert, which can be traced back to the 14th century to some German conqueror or Germania. So very cool. But yeah, last night's streaming difficulties, man. We had exactly 59 minutes and about 38 seconds worth of footage that just went poof. And it was good stuff. We had some good role playing in there, and I had the characters. These guys are all new. None of them really stream. Yafu Noob, my friend Brad, he was the guy in the gray, big guy wearing the hat. He streams off of his phone, and he streams Battlefield or whatever it is. Oh, it's Miguel. Hey, buddy. We have Miguel to thank for the awesome mic in last night's video. The sound quality was perfect. So thank you, Miguel, for sending that. And Miguel, I had put out a shout out to anybody if they had a 360-degree mic, if they didn't mind donating it to the channel, or if they wanted a couple bucks, I'd be willing to send a couple bucks. And Miguel donated it graciously to the channel. So, sir, thank you so much. Yes, the mic worked super well. I know there's a couple second delay in the chat in the video, so as opposed to what I'm saying right now, as opposed to what you guys are seeing. But yes, the microphone worked amazing. If you look at the video setup, you'll see that I had a smaller table and then my dining room table with my 5 players sitting at it. And I think for the microphone, it worked amazing. I'm not quite sure if the ambient audio came through for Sirenscape, because my concern was I didn't want to set the. I have this cool little Bluetooth microphone that I got off of Amazon for like under $30. It works really well. Doesn't get super loud, but I didn't buy it for that purpose. I bought it to use Sirenscape to set up music on the back end for the players. More for the players, not so much for the people viewing, but I was hoping that audio would be picked up, and I'm not quite sure if it did or it didn't. But you can see in the video, I think you can see me with my iPad next to me on my right. It would be your guys' left as you're looking at the video. And I was futzing with the sound and everything. But I sat it off over by the laptop so that I was just so concerned that it was going to drown out the audio. So thanks, Cristiano. My players are awesome. Ben, the big guy that was sitting right in the middle of the table, pretty much directly across from me, he was playing the rogue, Jakal. This is his third character. He's it's morphed from, first he was a druid, then he morphed into what did he morph? Oh, a monk. All the same character, because I allow my players to change and keep basically their same background and stuff, because I want them to have fun. And so we're still kind of learning the system. This is only our 4th or 5th game. We had a very long hiatus for the month of December and almost half of January because of the holidays and people being out of town. Sadly, Arpan, who was playing in our Midgard 5th edition game, has moved on. His work schedule and stuff is crazy, and so he is keeping an eye, and he's still in our WhatsApp chat group, and so he sees all the messages and stuff. I haven't removed him from the group, nor has he removed himself. So Arpan, peace, love, and all that stuff, my friend. I wish you well in your journeys, and hopefully you'll be able to come back and play one day. Obviously, after I go offline, this will be uploaded. Yeah, Cristiano, that was Sirenscape. Maybe I'll try to put a link in the show notes when I go back. It is still early here. It's 8:30 here. My wife is still in bed. My son's out. I have a 3-year-old, and you might hear him in the background. He's watching TV and playing with his toys. Yes, Pathfinder 2nd Edition multi-class is going to change. None of my players are multi-class. What I've allowed them to do is, if they decide they're playing a character, like in Ben's case, he was playing a druid, and it just wasn't another player came in and made a cleric, Bobby, who was playing Alphys, the cleric of Pharasma. He decided, well, the druid wasn't, because he took a druid along the lines of more of a healer. But the party now had a dedicated healer in the cleric of Pharasma, because that's really all he does, and he's very good at it. So he morphed his character into a monk, still the same race, still the same name, still the same background, but decided to play a monk because he really liked the monk. The problem was with the dynamics of the group and having the big barbarian that Brad was playing, the monk. It wasn't jiving for him. He liked it, but it just wasn't his cup of tea. So he then decided to morph his character into the current character, which is a rogue, which is kind of how he was playing his character all along. So it just made sense for him to remake Jakal as a rogue. Brad was playing the barbarian, and it just wasn't working. He wasn't picking up on the nuances of playing a barbarian. Not that it's hard or that Brad's a bad player. It just wasn't jiving for him, and it wasn't jiving for the group. So I politely suggested that he maybe try something else. And so he had played a wizard in D&D and had done a phenomenal job as the wizard. So he remade a wizard in Pathfinder, and even though he didn't cast any spells last night, he did a fine job, and I like his character a lot. So I'm looking forward to cool things for him. But Cristiano says, the actual multi-class champion, awesome combination. Oracle champion. I did download the playtest document that they have out there. I haven't even had a chance to look at it. It's definitely on my list of things to look at. I'm really excited about it. I just haven't had a chance. I do have the Gods and Magic, I think it's Gods and Magic book that will be released on, I believe, the 29th. I have it pre-ordered on Amazon, so I should get it the day it releases. Amazon, I believe Amazon ships it to you the day it releases, or they ship it early enough that you get it on the day it releases, or maybe a day after. So either way, I should have that, and I'm really looking forward to that because we have a strong cleric in our group. Bobby's Alphys character is amazing. Cristiano says rogues are better than 5e. I kind of agree. I think in 5e rogues are a one-trick pony, and I think the way Pathfinder works it, obviously if you've looked at Pathfinder 2nd edition or you've played it, you'll notice that the ACs are a lot higher for early level characters. My players leveled up to 4th level last night. I'm being very aggressive and generous on the experience. They probably had another, at the rate they're going, they probably had another 2 or 3 sessions to go before they would have legitimately hit 1,000 experience points. But I want to get them to that sweet spot where they feel good with their characters and they feel very, very competent. I will say what I do like about Pathfinder that I think 5th edition just didn't grab is that characters are very competent at 1st level. As long as the challenges are appropriate for their level, obviously. And D&D has the same problem. When anytime you have a level-based game, you as the GM, you have to walk a fine line to make sure that the adventure and the challenges that you put before your players is appropriate for their level. That's one of the things I don't like about level-based games. I'm very much a free-form GM. I wrote out an initial plot. I knew that, Seema was the things that happened with Seema, which was the ranger elf that they had kind of sort of been working for. We're going to turn south. And if you watch the live stream, you'll see that obviously it appears that Seema is being mentally controlled somehow by possibly Danzar or this mysterious figure called Onubar, who we know that Danzar is a cleric of Razmir. So it's interesting to see. Oh, this is my little guy. You want to come in and say hi? Don't scream. Inside voice. Here, come say hi. Oh, so this is my little guy who loves who loves to see his face on the camera. Shh, don't yell, soft, quiet voice. Yeah. What sound does a dinosaur make? What sound does a dinosaur make?
I stopped.
What sound does a dinosaur make?
Balls.
So say hi.
Balls.
Shh. It's inside voice. Inside voice.
A boat. A boat.
You guys. So we are stopping our Pathfinder due to the Age of Ashes path. No one is enjoying it. Okay. Shh. I agree with you there, Cristiano. Oh no, that's Farrell saying that. Okay, shh. Go play. Right, go get your cars. Sorry about that, guys. I love that little guy. Yeah, James. I read the Adventure Paths. Fall of Plaguestone or whatever it was awesome. I really enjoyed that as an intro adventure to Pathfinder, but I did get one of the adventure paths, and I was not. I mean, it was okay, but they didn't spark me. I'm enjoying doing my own path. I'm obviously making the Resmirian cult, the bad guys, as they should be. So I'm really looking forward to the Gods and Magic book to read some more information. I've read some stuff from Pathfinder First Edition because I have most of the First Edition books in PDF. So there's a crap ton up there, right in that area right there. If my big fat head wasn't in the way. Let's see what else is saying. Cristiano says, between us we are running Forgotten Realms with, I'm assuming that's Forgotten Realms with Pathfinder 2. That's very cool. I was going to convert the Midgard realm to Pathfinder. The only problem is A, time on my end, and B, they have a lot of specific classes and races that are player characters that just aren't out yet in Pathfinder. So, and I didn't want to convert it and stuff like that. So I'm sorry if I'm a little bit distracted. My son's right here. I want to keep an eye on him. My wife is still napping. So let's see what Cristiano's saying. There's a lot of choices without beat subpar in Pathfinder. I don't know what you mean by beat subpar. Ben. Wait, there are a lot of choices without being subpar in Pathfinder 2. Yes, I will agree. I think coming out of the gate to have a 400 or 600 and something page tome with the plethora of information that's in that book is amazing. I mean, they knocked it out of the park with the first Pathfinder, and I did the playtest for the second Pathfinder, and I'm telling you right now, the 3-action economy is by far my favorite. I think it really makes the players feel invested, and that they, D&D is great. It's a fun game. I don't have anything wrong with D&D. The problem with D&D is it's the standard age-old, I hit you, you hit me, I hit you, you hit me, and it's just a matter of who runs out of hit points first. Yeah, there's some abilities and some options in there, but it really just boils down to who has the most hit points. And you could say the same thing is happening in Pathfinder, but it's at a much rapid pace. So it makes those abilities and options that you have as a player character very, very viable. If you make a bad mistake, you can recover from it. Maybe, never as fast as you want to, but still fast enough that you might not die. Let's see. Yes, James, DCC Adventures are awesome. I have many of their things. In fact, I have all of them that they've released because I backed the Kickstarter where they did the 4th edition Uber cover with the printing actually on my channel, and I think you've seen it. I have an unboxing of when I got that Kickstarter in with all the adventures and the art book. And you guys want to see how a Kickstarter's done right, go look at Goodman Games and their DCC stuff. They knock it out of the park every time. Always good bang for your buck, and just amazing stuff. DCC is another game that I would love to run for my local group, but I don't think it's their kind of game. DCC has a painful player agency curve in it that the GM is literally out to kill the characters, but to do it in a fun way that's entertaining for everybody. And their funnels are some of the best in the business. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, just do a search on DCC or Dungeon Crawl Classic funnels. They are awesome. Let's see. Let's see. Cristiano says there was a Kickstarter for a conversion guide from Pathfinder to 5e for Pathfinder 2. We'll tell you if it works later. I saw that, Miguel, and I almost backed it because, like I said, I wanted to convert that 5th edition Midgard campaign setting over to Pathfinder because I really like. But I was just like, it's. It's not going to be focused on Midgard, so it's just going to be a lot of generic information, I think, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think it's going to be great, but I chose not to spend my money on it. If one of my viewers wants to send me a copy, I'd be more than happy to read it. I only try to do reviews of things that are legitimately sent to me. So like Feral Games, James Gantry is the proprietor of Feral Games. He is gracious enough to send me a lot of his product at his own expense. And so I make sure that I try to post a review of that stuff. And I like to point out that it was sent to me, for free. And I love James's stuff. If you guys haven't checked out any of his games, please go do it. He has quite the drive-through RPG shop, and he has a lot of cool product. Delve is an awesome game. It's basically the Path of Exile video game in a tabletop RPG. It sounds corny, and it's just for the fact that the way the game starts, you wake up on a beach, you don't know. There's a chart. This is what I love. There's a chart to roll for what's in your pocket when you wake up on the beach because your ship is wrecked and you wake up on this island. So it is super awesome. I recommend you guys go check it out as soon as you get a chance. It's a relatively inexpensive game, and it can be enjoyed. I'm just checking Discord to see if anybody had posted anything, but nothing in Discord. So I'm gonna try to look at the stream and not go. We have 3 people on the stream. I think I'm counted as one of those. And let's see. So yeah, we got 3 people on the stream. Let's see if anybody on MeWe posted anything. Nothing on. Oh, there's somebody posted on. Mark Withers on MeWe for the tabletop role playing game. Gave me I guess 2 crossed swords. I'm assuming that's a good thing. So we'll see. That's pretty cool. So that's just MeWe. And the stream looks like it's going good. I'm assuming you guys can hear me fine and see me fine. I don't know if anybody's had a chance to actually watch the stream last night, but if you did, I hope you enjoyed it. I was so upset because that first hour was just amazing. It was some good role playing, and I think the wind got knocked out of our sails. But I'm going to give a special shout out to Ben, the player of the rogue Jakal, who really stepped up and really, I think, got everybody back into it with his role playing. He really played his character. Oh, that's right, James. Thank you. Ghost Ops Kickstarter is happening now. So go check that out. I'll try to put a link in the show notes. James, feel free to put a link here in the chat because that will be up on the live stream as well, and people will see it. So feel free. And Delve, and again, guys, if you want a quick, easy, fun fantasy RPG, pick up Delve. It is £4.99 on Drive-Thru RPG right now for all you European viewers. It's roughly, I think, I don't know if the pound is up versus the dollar now, so it's either $3 to $6. Keyboard failing. You have your own engine, right? Yes. He does use his own system, but I'll let him speak to that. Now that I think I've got this YouTube live streaming figured out, I want to get James back on the channel and do a live stream. Cristiano, I also have a review of Delve and several of James's other RPGs on my channel, so go back in the channel and check them out. And I also have a couple live streams with James where we're talking about Kickstarters and stuff. $4.99. U.S. dollars. Thanks, James, because my conversion, us Americans, we're just big and dumb, and we assume everybody knows what our stuff is, but we don't take the time to learn what anybody else's stuff. So I appreciate my foreign viewers because you guys keep me on my toes, and I really appreciate that. So, Cristiano, did you get a chance, or Miguel, I'm not sure what you want me to call you. Did you get a chance to watch the stream and all yet? It's like over 2 hours, so it would have been over 3 hours. So in a way, it might have been a blessing that we lost that first hour of footage, because that's a lot of time to invest. And I'm nowhere near as good as Matt Mercer or Jason Bonham or Jason Bullman for Paizo. But I have been watching his. I'm actually 2 or 3 episodes. I'm 2.5 episodes behind on Critical Role on their current campaign. I just haven't had time to watch it. Work has been super busy. And then, of course, my personal life, helping my wife, and my wife has some medical issues, and we're moving through that. Everything's good, but it just takes time and effort and everything. And then raising a 3-year-old, as you can hear, is so much fun. But he's an awesome kid, and I love him dearly. I love my wife dearly. So I had really a lot of fun streaming last night. It's a lot of work to put, we had about an hour and 45 minutes of solid, maybe 2 hours solid game time. The other hour, you write off to chit-chatting and, doing other things. We had to get the wizard character up to spec because he had some things wrong. Let me grab my tablet. 1 second. I'm gonna do a shameless plug here. This is a Amazon Kindle tablet. There is a program called Path. I believe it's called Path Builder. It's an app in the Amazon store. Path Builder 2, Pathfinder Fantasy RPG 2nd Edition. And I don't know because of if it'll take a second there to. That's what it looks like. I could probably turn the brightness down, I think. Let me see if I turn. Maybe that makes it a little better. Turn it that way. Yeah. All right. Take care, Miguel. Enjoy the rest of your day, sir. This is indisposable for new players to Pathfinder. It appears the rules are and the mechanics are very correct. And it even says, in fact, this just came out. It says Pathfinder 2 has now been updated with the core rulebook. Errata, see the Paizo website for more details. He has an app for his 1st edition Pathfinder, and this has been update notes version 71. So this is kind of a living document. And if you're a GM, a Pathfinder GM, and you have access to an Android tablet. Sadly, I did reach out to the developer. He has no plans to put this on Apple. So you need an Android tablet or an Android phone. I just was lucky enough. I have an old Amazon Fire HD tablet. And I was about to sell it because these things, I don't recommend these things. If you've got a kid or something like that, this thing cost me $100, and I've had it for a little bit over, right at 2 years, and it is slow. It is unresponsive. I've reformatted it. It's updated. Unfortunately, Fire HD uses its own OS, and I haven't taken the time to learn what it is. Bottom line is, I wouldn't waste your money on this unless you're on a very tight budget. I think there are better Android tablets out there. I don't want this to turn into a tech review, but I did go and buy a iPad for Christmas. That was my big Christmas present to myself. And I got the iPad, the one right below it's the 10.7, 10.2, whatever it is. The 2019 version with 64 gigs and the A13 Bionic chip, whatever the new chip is. It's not the entry level iPad, the one right above it. And it's amazing. I've been a big fan. I'm not a fan of the iPhone. Can't stand the iPhone, but the iPad is for consuming media, futzing around with a tablet that you don't want to lug your computer with, to me the iPad is the only way to go. But the Pathfinder is not on it. So unfortunately, there are some Pathfinder apps. None of them are any good. So that's a challenge out to any of the iPad developers out there to make a decent iPad. But yeah, so the game went really well last night. They ran into some more gnolls. It appears that there are gnolls in the forest out there in Absalon, in the waste. So whoever this Danzar guy is, he is recruiting them and using them as his troops and thugs and ne'er-do-wells. And they were able to get into the outskirts of Absalon to a warehouse. A very nice NPC did die, and I thought the players handled that really well. Especially our cleric, he performed the last rites over the dead, and he actually sent the gentleman's body to the temple for proper burial rites. And he did. It wasn't until he did that before he found out that the guy was a follower of Pharasma. So that kudos for him. And then of course the clergy, the head cleric at the temple, found out about his deeds and everything, working with the party and doing the stuff for the Pathfinder Guild. They got their full charter to the Pathfinder Guild and were able to get their Waystone. So that's going to help them. I have to send them all the stats. We use an app called WhatsApp for our chat and general communication between the party. And what's nice is you can cut and paste into it. Send images, that kind of thing. So I'm going to basically just cut and paste what the book says, put it into WhatsApp and send it to them. So, and then go from there. But it does look like, and of course everybody had a good time. So that's what's important. I was pretty excited about it. So, I got a thumbs up from somebody. 3 people were watching. We've been streaming for about 30 minutes. So, I don't think I have too much more to say. This was more of a test and just I'm a guy who learns by doing. And so, it was nice to just get this done, get it working, and understanding that YouTube evidently gives you a new streaming key every time you create a new live stream. So, there may be a way to keep the same key, but they assign you a new key every time you stream, and I found that out the hard way. And that's what happened last night. That's why it wasn't streaming. I had set it all up right. I just didn't wait. When you set up your stream, there's a little progress bar, and then there's a green light, or it's gray if it's not streaming. If there's issues or latency really bad, it turns different colors. I didn't wait for that because, like I said, they changed their process, and I didn't know. Google Hangouts, I don't believe, is an option anymore. I think that's gone. I wasn't able to do that. So, but I think it all things considered, it worked out okay. I mean, we got it done. We were able to stream it, and it's up on YouTube now. So I think it all works in the end. So this will get posted to YouTube. We will be playing again this Friday. We're taking a break. We'll play something different. I'm in the beta test for Modifius's Fallout 2D20, and I have the playtest rules. I'm perusing those now, and I think what we're going to do is we'll do I'm not quite sure I can do a live stream. I have to make sure if that's allowed, because right now we're under an NDA, and most likely it's not allowed. They did send out a reminder, but what I might do is record it and then post it once the NDA is lifted. Part of that is to keep the players mindful that there's a camera on them. And I think that's just a good thing to keep the status quo, so to speak, and remind everybody that they're being recorded. And if you skip a session or whatever, then players are like, they get lax, and so do I. So it's a good way to keep us all going and make sure that we're all in the same boat and we're paying attention to what we're doing. I'm getting comfortable here, guys. I hope you can still hear me okay. And I think what we'll do is I'll try to record the 2D20 Fallout RPG, and then save that and then upload it at a later date. Just have it for content in the back, like maybe if I want to skip a week. Still got some reviews coming. I've got a review coming for Trinity. Trinity Continuum. James says he has the playtest for Fallout 2. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that we're not allowed to stream it or really do anything with it except, basically we can say we're playtesting it, but that's about it. I think the NDA clause, we're not allowed to post anything before they lift the ban, which is fine. I did their NDA for Star Trek and Conan, and they were great. So, and Modifius is a good company. So I'm totally happy to support them. And like I said, I'll record that play session. We'll probably make characters. It'll probably be a little bit longer of a play session, but we'll record it and save it for when they lift the NDA, and then I can stream. I can just do it as a regular play video as a one shot. But I do have Trinity Continuum. I was a huge fan of the first one, of the first Aeon. It was Aeon. And then for legality reasons, they got sued by MTV years ago. Yeah, James, right. All you can do is mention it. So I have mentioned it, and I have shown no more. But we got a review of this coming. I also bought the second book in the series, and I think there may be a third book for the Aberrant. But this was originally called Aeon. They got sued by MTV, so they had to take their existing stock and put a sticker over it that said Trinity in the red like this. Continuum is just using Onyx Path as the new print, and this is their revised rules. It's gone a little more, how do I put it, touchy-feely. The old system was dots. You'd fill in the old World of Darkness system, and it's D10s. It's still D10s. It's still, stat and a skill, add them together. You're looking for successes on a D10. But they've added a little more of the role play, of the narrative into creating your character. So I'm reading up on that just so that I can talk a little bit more fluently about it. I'm not so much interested in this one. Continuum is modern day. It's like right now, literally. Maybe a little bit further in the future if I remember correctly. But the next game is Aeon Trinity, or Trinity Aeon, I believe it's called. The book is in the other room. That's the one with your basically like superheroes, and that's the one I'm interested in. So I'm reading that one more, but your basic character creation rules are in here. So I have to, obviously I have to read this so that I know what I'm doing in the other book. So other than that, I don't think much is going on. Like I said, excited. We may, if we can't do Fallout, I may run maybe DCC, or I might run something sci-fi for the players, just to give them a taste of something different. Might even run Star Trek or Mutant Chronicles. I'm a big fan of the 2D20 system. I like it. Infinity, I'm a huge Infinity, the miniatures game guy. I have a ton of miniatures. I just haven't gotten around to putting them together and painting them. But I love the RPG. I did the Kickstarter. I backed it. I got all the core books and everything. So, but I did show it to the players, and they're like, that's a little tough. That's a lot of information coming at them. So I think something more like Mutant Chronicles would be a little bit easier, because it's a little bit more on the fantastical side, and it's not so techy. Infinity's very tech-heavy game with a lot of different options and stuff, and so you have analysis paralysis when you get too many options, and players are definitely subject to that. So I don't want to turn anybody off, and I have a couple new players, so I want to give them something different. But February 14th, there will be no game, since we are now streaming them, and we're going to hopefully, I think I've got this all figured out now, we're going to start live streaming it. So I'm also, if anybody has any OBS overlay skills, and they want to contact me, please reach out. I would like to do something with my channel logo, and then go from there, and then see how that all goes, and maybe do an overlay, because I've been watching a couple videos on that, and it's not terribly difficult, and that's all in OBS, and I find OBS much easier than YouTube for whatever reason. Even though YouTube is literally like 3 clicks and you're streaming, it eludes me. I think I've got it figured out now. I think the catch is that it's a new streaming code every time you set up a live stream, and you have to go cut and paste that and put it into OBS, which is fine. Now that I know it, you know, and then the whole thing with the children, and you have to click is it kid friendly or not kid friendly, which I get. I'm totally for that as a parent myself. I get that. So that's the joys and the troubles of live streaming. I'm really bummed that we didn't get it live streamed, but I'm glad we were able to at least record, you know, over half of it, and it's up there. It's already gotten like 25, 30 views already, and it posted live a little bit after midnight last night. The new thing about the new YouTube is when you set it up, it automatically uploads it when you're done encoding it and everything. So that's nice. So I think that's really all I got. I'm going to get in there, spend some time with my son. Peace and hair grease. Thank you guys so much for watching. And if you're watching this later as a recorded video up on YouTube, feel free to put some notes in the comments. We talked a little bit about everything up there, and I appreciate James and Miguel for watching. Again, Miguel, a huge shout out to the microphone. It worked amazingly. And next Friday we'll have an actual live stream. I think we'll be set. So I think I've got all the bugs worked out. It looks like this worked really well. And again, just thank you to everybody and all the support from everybody. I do this. This, believe it or not, is very therapeutic for my PTSD. I think I've mentioned this on the channel before, but James, I've tried to play Ghost Ops. It just strikes too close to home, and it causes all kinds of emotional trauma, for lack of a better word, and it's just not. I just can't play it. So I do apologize. I think it's a phenomenal game. You've made a really neat game. I can't play it. It just bothers me too much, and I can't GM it. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Thanks for all the support. As always, like and subscribe. Tell your friends. Let's grow the Meanie Army. I think we're up to 625, 26 viewers. So thank you guys. We've had a huge upsurge in the month of January. So thank you guys so much. You can always donate to the channel via Zelly Pay or PayPal Pay Me. There's links on my YouTube channel. So as always, stay tuned for more reviews and live plays and some interviews. I've got some cool stuff coming up real soon. So thanks a lot, guys. As always, peace and hair grease, and take care and be safe out there. Take care, guys.